The Switch 2 Direct is mere days away, and today I'm predicting what's going to be in the Direct with the Odd Ones Out and Scott the Wise. Guys, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Let's do it!
Let's do it! We have a Direct mere days away. I actually don't know when this is probably going to go up like a few days before, but yeah, we're going to talk about the Switch 2. What's the hardware going to be like? What video games are going to actually release this year? I guess first, though, price. So price has been talked about, quite a bit. I mean, I'm kind of feeling 400, but I would not be shocked if it does end up costing like $500.
You think it's going to be half a grand?
Maybe. I mean, because like the PS5 is getting away with 500, 700 with the Pro model, so it's possible.
How much was the Switch 1? I forget. I feel like the Switch 1 was only like $250, right?
I think it was 300. And then the OLED is 350.
And inflation, you gotta include inflation. That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
I think 400 is the sweet spot because the Switch 1 is already the same price as let's say the Xbox Series S. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this will probably be in line with that in terms of power and all of that. So putting that in a handheld space, I think 400 makes sense. I think anything above that is kind of pushing it because then that's around the same price as the PS5. So I think 400, and I think they discontinue the Switch OLED model and all of that, just to kind of make it a little more of a distinct difference between price points if they keep the Switch 1 around for much longer.
Mm-hmm. Or I guess they could drop the price of the OLED, because I think the OLED is still $350, so they could drop it to $300 or something.
They could. I don't think.
I don't think they will.
In this economy,
they probably won't. Yeah. I know it's interesting though, because a lot of people are saying because of all the tariff stuff, the console might end up costing $500, but I really think that would hurt their bottom line pretty badly. So if anything, they might have really expensive controllers this generation, maybe $100 Pro controller or something. Hopefully not. I mean, I guess it's possible, but
speaking of hardware, do you think Joy-Con drift is going to be a thing, or do you think there's going to be some new problem that maybe the buttons will be being pressed when ghost pushes and stuff? Yeah.
Hopefully not.
I was gonna say, I hope they solved the Joy-Con. Was there ever a resolve to that? I feel like there was some lawsuit about Joy-Con drift, and then I never saw anything else about it.
Yeah, there was a class action lawsuit. I don't think it went anywhere, as far as I'm aware, but I'm pretty sure with the newer Joy-Cons, they added something in between the something inside the Joy-Con so it doesn't drift as often, but I don't know, but pretty much all of my Joy-Cons have drift except 2 or 3, and I have 8 or 9 of the things.
Isn't there some makeshift thing you can do, you put a piece of tape or something on the circuit board or something like that?
Yeah, there was something like that.
Yeah, so they'll just do that for the Switch 2.
They're gonna add cardboard to the Switch 2 Joy-Cons.
They just include all that stuff on.
They include a piece of tape and a screwdriver for you to do it yourself.
Yeah, because inevitably after
trailer,
6 months, it'll break.
In the trailer, they do that little quirky little animation where the little thumbstick goes around, and people have implied they're oh, they're talking to me here. They're saying there's gonna be no drift. I think they were just being silly. They were let's just move all these things around. Yeah. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, although speaking of the trailer, I mean, they did do the mouse slide thing, which there has been patents that have come out for that. And I think, honestly, it's kind of ingenious if it is actually a mouse. But I feel like if they're going to actually do that, they need to have some sort of grip. Because if you take a Joy-Con right now, you can hold it like a mouse. I
don't have one next to me.
That's okay. No worries. You can pretend to have one.
Okay.
Quickly, get your Joy-Con. I mean, that's close enough, right?
Pencil sharpener.
I mean, yeah, take your pencil sharpener, your Joy-Con, whatever it is, hold it like a mouse, and you realize, wait a minute, this actually kind of works. But I think it would get really uncomfortable after an hour or two, just because of the way that it's shaped.
What games would they have that is just for a mouse? Because there's no keyboard, right? So I guess they'd have FPSs that you just click and then you can push the buttons on the side. That actually sounds like an amazing idea. I should have made that in one of my predictions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
now you get dual mice.
You could
do all kinds of things with dual mice.
Yeah.
Who knows what you can do with that?
Yeah, you could go dual mode, or you could even just you hold. Well, let me just get these out. You hold one like a mouse, and then you just use the other like a normal controller, and that also works. And that's how you get, Call of Duty and Halo and stuff on the Switch 2.
Can I show you guys one of my predictions just for like the hardware of the Switch 2?
Yes. What do you got?
It's a little bit out there.
Okay.
All right. I just want you to before you make any judgments, just really just sit with it, imagine with it, see how it makes you feel. I think it's about time we get a Nintendo DS Lite cross compatibility with the Switch 2. So you can put in your DS Lite games in the Switch 2. And then you'll have a DS projected onto the screen, and then you can use your stylus from the DS that you already have, and then you can just push the buttons with your stylus.
I would love that. As someone that owns a bunch of DS games, that would be amazing.
What are the chances of this probably happening?
I'm gonna say probably 0.
Probably 0?
Probably 0.
So maybe 1.
Unless they come out with an adapter. Here's a USB-C to Nintendo DS adapter, and then just put in your DS cartridge.
I think if they would do DS, firstly, in your prediction, would the DS also be squashed down on the right hand side?
I guess so.
I like that.
It's DS Lite cross compatible, not regular DS. It's just DS Lite cross compatible.
That's
okay. Fair enough. That makes sense.
Do you have the slot to do the Guitar Hero games?
Please. Well, you need the Game Boy Advance slot for that.
Oh, you wouldn't you? Oh, I didn't think about that.
But you can't play. No, the way we got to do this is you can't play Game Boy Advance games on it. It's literally just for the Guitar Hero. But
so
games.
It's a DS Lite slot and then a Guitar Hero slot. Not
James.
Perfect.
I like your idea that the games go on the bottom there, because then they could do some funky thing where the slot for the DS games is also the same slot that's used to project and to put the Switch 2 in the dock. So it could be potentially they're reusing this old ass DS game slot as an HDMI pass through. I don't know, but
I get what you're thinking like a business person.
Yeah,
or I'm thinking game developer or whatever.
I think DS games. So, have you guys seen these quirky little guys that think with this USB-C port at the top, you put a whole new screen on top of the Switch 2. And it's 2 screens now.
Ooh.
You get full 2 screens.
There you go.
Be like a giant Nintendo DS.
Be a $200 attachment.
Oh my God.
And, it would be kind of neat, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
I
think
you just reminded me of this toy that was in the early 2000s. It was this little cube, and it had a little stick man on the cube. But then if you got 2 cubes and you put them next to each other, then all of a sudden the 2 stick men would interact. I have no idea.
I'm trying to remember that.
Cube stick figure toy.
So I'm thinking Switch 2, same concept. You just take 2 Switch 2s, put them next to each other. Now you got a giant DS.
I didn't even think
about
about
$1 million.
That's true. You could just connect. You could just connect infinite Switch 2s over and over again.
And if this doesn't happen, then I'm gonna want my money back.
I guess they could kind of do that. They sort of did this, and this is really stretching things. I looked it up. It's Cube World.
Okay.
There is a mode in Super Mario Party, the first one, where you put 2 switches next to each other, and then you stroke your finger across both of them, and it connects both of them. So then you can kind of do this whole Cube World thing, where it's whatever. This switch interacts with this switch. It creates one big screen or something. Mm-hmm. They've done stuff like this before. I think it would be kind of cute if they would do a 2-screen attachment, but I think that USB-C port on the top is literally just for charging. They're literally you can charge it now on the top. I don't think they got any massive plans with that thing.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
but there was a patent.
Cool,
I think there was a patent. There was a patent that there's a phone attachment for this one or something. It's
a phone attachment.
You know, the game controllers where you can snap on your phone or something on the top. I think there's a patent Nintendo filed. You can attach. There's a second screen attachment for the top. So that's why I think a lot of people were going off on this whole second screen idea, I guess.
I just came up with that yesterday, so.
Yeah, I mean, you should have
I'm ahead
beaten
of
them
the
to the
curve.
pan office. But I think DS games could work on Switch. I mean, you could make them work on Switch 1. I think the best way to do it would be like you flip the screen around, you put it in like the
vertical mode. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's added to Switch Online, like for Switch 2 exclusively. And also like GameCube Switch Online, I think is definitely gonna happen at some point. Like I know we are getting a lot of GameCube remakes, but you know, if Nintendo wants to really help sell the Switch 2, put Smash Bros. Melee, put Double Dash, just put like those handful of games on the Switch 2 Online, make them so you can actually play online. Like that'd be amazing.
Like, are there any other like general hardware predictions that we have?
I guess like the only thing I'd want to bring up is a lot of people are talking about how Switch 1 games, when played on the Switch 2, is going to have like some visual increase or like, you know, frame rate increase, whatever, which it probably is going to happen. But are these going to be free or paid upgrades? Because in the past, what Nintendo has done, they've done a kind of a similar concept, I guess, with the Wii U Virtual Console. If you wanted to play games from the Wii Virtual Console on the Wii U, you had to pay like $1 or something, or $2 or whatever. So if you want to play Breath of the Wild in like 4K 60 frames a second or whatever the frame rate's going to be, will we have to pay like $5 for that? Or is it just going to natively run better on Switch 2?
Well, they kind of do something like that with like PS5, where like most games, I think at least like they'll load faster on PS5 just putting them in if they're PS4 games.
Exactly.
And like some of them have like patches that are like free updates, but then some of them are like a $10 fee.
Yeah.
Especially if like they also release like a standalone PS5 remaster of like an old PS4 game or something. I feel like they're probably gonna do something similar. I think there was a report that like when Nintendo was showing off the Switch 2 to developers, they were using Breath of the Wild in like 4K as an example, and I'm like, I don't know, that sounds so boring to me because I'm like, I just played Tears of the Kingdom and all of that like a year or two ago. Like I'm just like, so now I'm gonna go back to Breath of the Wild, and if they're gonna charge like $60-$70 for this, I'm like, okay, buddy, like this might be 4K. Kind of I'm kind of like, okay, I guess it'll look better. It will look better,
but
like
such a boring thing for them to do. I agree.
So I don't know. It would be pretty sick if there was a free update, but I think they're gonna charge for it in some way.
Yeah, I mean they probably will. Hopefully it's not a lot, because you know I've got a lot of. I don't want to have to spend like hundreds of dollars to upgrade all my Switch 1 games on Switch 2.
Well, you have the choice. You could play them in dirty old 720p.
I could.
Or you could upgrade and have the time of your life. You know, I think it'll definitely be really cool. At the very least, seeing like a frame rate bump for a lot of these games, I think would be huge. I think it would make a massive difference.
So many of the Zelda games run really bad. Like, did either of you play Age of Calamity? It was that weird...
Played Arceus, which, you know, that
game doesn't run great
notorious.
Either. Yeah, same with like Scarlet and Violet too. Yeah, like those games really could use at the very least just, you know, smooth frame rates. No more of this like let's run at 10 frames to like 20, and then let's just have glitches everywhere. Like, yeah.
It's the latest 2D Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, that has the same frame rate problems as the last 2D Zelda game, Link's Awakening. And I'm like, we're in 2024 now. This is a 2D Zelda game. What is going on here?
Not to burst your bubble, Scott, but it's 2025. Actually, it's March of 2025.
Man, well, the game released in 2024.
Oh, that's
that's
what you were doing.
Yeah, I got no excuse for that. Okay, never mind.
Can I show you a game that I think has a really strong possibility of coming out on the Switch 2?
Let's see it.
Okay, so I mocked this up. It's really quick, so don't, you know, like, it's nothing too crazy, but I have a strong idea, strong feeling. Mario Kart 9.
Deluxe?
Oh yeah, Mario Kart Deluxe 9.
Mario Kart 9
the better
Deluxe.
version of Mario Kart 9 Deluxe. I would like, I think it'd be sick if they if they just went for that instead of Mario Kart 9.
They skipped 9, so I think we're going to get on top of that Mario Kart game that, what was it, Mario Kart X?
Yeah,
there's
something
also
like
going to be
that.
a Mario Kart 9. So they're going to
Okay.
go back and make a ninth one.
Is this game gonna have new funky mode?
Yes.
Okay.
What is
Okay,
Fu-
good.
what you just play as like Funky Kong is the only character? I should have put Funky Kong on the box.
Yeah, he's the only character. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they title this one a random number, like
Mario Kart
like
48.
I think here's the thing. Like, do you remember they announced like Mario Kart 7, and I think when they announced that game, I was just like, what? There's 7 of them? Like, I'm just like, you never numbered these
counting?
things until
Yeah.
this day, until this very
True.
day. We're starting counting these things. But, you know, if you want to count, there's all those arcade games. There's Mario Kart Tour now. There's Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. So technically, we're probably up to like Mario Kart 14. So
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be pretty cool if they just started numbering it correctly at this point. They're like,
Every
no,
different
all these
version.
ones count now too. You go from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to Mario Kart 15.
Well, there's also Mario Kart 64, so that implies that there's like 63 other Mario Karts.
We're
right?
still missing
Yeah.
a lot of them. We have a
We're
long
missing
ways
a
to
lot.
go
We're
before
missing,
getting
yeah.
to 64. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. It's just like, yeah, well, they did technically number the Mario Karts before this point.
You know, at this point, we'll get back to 64 in like 600 years because they take like 10 years to make new Mario Kart games now.
Yeah, man, this new Mario Kart's probably gonna last like a good 15 years.
It's
I'd
gonna
assume.
last a
I feel like
while. Yeah.
they're probably building it out to be like, yeah, this is gonna be.
This is the
Oh,
the
James, I
main
like
one.
the 2 you added. The Switch
Yeah.
logo.
Well,
yeah.
It's a nice
Speaking
touch.
of just adding a 9 to the end of a game, you know, like that wasn't really a serious prediction. This is more of a we're just putting a 9 at the end of a game. This is a more of a serious prediction right here. Okay, here's something that I think has a strong chance of coming to the Switch 2. It's called Tetris 999. I mocked up an idea. It's pretty self-explanatory. You and 998 other players all battling it out. I can't think of any other video game that makes you fight 998 other players at the same time.
Be the ultimate battle royale, and it would also end in probably 2 seconds. You just see like the gray blocks just immediately pile up.
And you're, oh, I got 800th place.
Getting
oh
first
man, I'm
place
almost
would
there.
be-
I'm so close.
you should get like a prize, like a literal cash prize if you get
Right,
first
yeah.
place. Honestly, that's be hard to do.
That'd be a cute way if they would ever like end Tetris 99. They're like, oh, we're going out on a bang. This final day, we're doing 1,000 people rooms.
Does anyone have any other game prediction? Or actually, you have the outline, Nathaniel. You do.
Well, I have some other like Mario stuff, so I think
All right.
it's pretty clear we're probably going to see 3D Mario finally after all this time.
Odyssey 2 question mark?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be
No?
something totally different. I think it's going to be exactly like Bowser's Fury, but instead of just one world, it's going to be like 5 or 6 worlds where it's very open-ended. You kind of just like collect stars or shines, whatever they're going to be, in whatever order you want. And I think every world is going to have its own unique power-up system. So like maybe the first world, you can use Fire Flowers, Tanuki Tail, you know, the really basic stuff. But then the second world,
Yeah.
you can use the Flood Pack from Mario Sunshine. And in the third world, you can use Cappy. And then the fourth world, it could be, you know, whatever it may be. I think that's
yeah.
probably how it's going to look or how it's going to work.
Is there going to be some second player Bowser Jr. flying around you? It doesn't have to be. It could be like Lumen or I don't know.
Just Luigi.
Navi from Luigi.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I mean, they have co-op for like Mario 3D World now, and I mean that it kind of worked, I guess, just because the levels were more linearly built. But yeah, it would be kind of interesting to have co-op in a 3D Mario like that, where two people are controlling basically, you know, the main character. So.
But why not Odyssey 2? What if it's just all of that, but they call it Odyssey 2, and they like go to a different galaxy or whatever?
I mean, maybe. I just feel like so much time has already passed. I think it's going to be something brand new entirely.
I feel like it'd probably be smart for them to do something unique because, like, I feel like I really wanted like an Odyssey 2 and like whatever, like a couple years after Odyssey 1, you know, and it just never happened. And I think that's why like I didn't even really replay Odyssey much because I was always like, well, they'll probably do a sequel like sometime soon, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
And I think like to just kind of like give the Switch 2 potentially like more of its own flavor, especially with this new Mario Kart. You know, like they have like this newer art style they're trying out with Mario that you know, is a lot more expressive and everything. I feel like it is gonna be like Bowser's Fury, but you know, that game was like surrounded by water and everything, and you know, like and like it also like dipped in frame rate sometimes. You know, it's a smaller game. I think it's gonna be like really leveraging the power of the Switch 2, and you know, it's just gonna be like this full-blown open world kind of Mario game.
What about Super Odyssey? We haven't had a super in front of it.
That is a different term. That is something new.
Well, okay, what if
or just putting new Super Odyssey
and the funky mode? You can't forget about funky mode.
And the funky mode.
Actually, something that would be shocking, and I could almost see them doing it, is a sequel to Mario Galaxy 3, except it's open world this time. And basically, you can just travel to any planet whenever you want. You're not going to get like kicked out of levels and stuff when you get stars. That'd be so sick. I doubt it'll happen.
That'd be good.
That'd be cool.
I mean, like, it would be really cool. I mean, a Galaxy 3 is always kind of like, they could always go back to that idea. I don't really think there's anything stopping them from doing that other than, you know, their want or desire to do so. I feel like that would be really awesome to see, like, halfway through the Switch's life, you know, like, we get, like, a brand new original 3D Mario game, a new idea pretty much, for like around the launch year, and then a couple years in, then it's just like, here's another 3D Mario game, and it's a sequel to Galaxy, or that could be when we get our Odyssey 2 or a Sunshine 2 for some reason.
Mario 64 2. The only other curveball I could see from Mario this year is maybe they finally bring back Dr. Mario. We haven't gotten a game in that franchise in forever. We could see Dr. Mario 99. Or Dr. Mario 999. 1,000 players.
I feel like they would just keep the same base game, but then just like up the graphics. Just have like a 3D Mario and like remastered music and everything, and then they just like sell it for $10 on Switch Online.
Yeah, they could do that.
Okay, that's a good. I like that prediction.
Yeah.
Scott, do you have any like?
Do I have any predictions?
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, all right. So I think there's gonna be, I think it'll be a fun presentation. I think there'll be a lot of fun little announcements. But I think here's the problem. I feel like they kind of blew their load like a couple of years ago with like pretty much all of the franchises that you'd really expect or like want or like any of that. So it's just like it's kind of hard to think about like what franchises are really gonna pop up here, what brand new games. So I'm thinking with Nintendo development teams, the team that does Splatoon also does Mario Kart. No, not Mario Kart. Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And Animal Crossing was the biggest thing ever on Switch 1, and disappointed pretty much everybody. I mean, I like that game is great. I love New Horizons, but like all anybody talks about these days is like, wow, they really fumbled this one. They didn't give it a million expansions, and like, oh, they just stopped doing DLC for it. Blah blah blah, all of that. I think I would not be surprised to see Animal Crossing show up here, you know, to really get people to like invest in
revamped.
Switch 2. Yeah, and I think hopefully this one is more future-proof, I guess, because New Horizons was great at the time, but like they cut a lot of stuff and just kind of piecemealed it to you via updates, and like that wasn't very exciting. That just kind of felt like, why wasn't this here at the start? So I feel like Animal Crossing would make a lot of sense for like, it would be like launch year. I'm kind of expecting like 2026, like maybe May or June of 2026. I think that would probably hit around that time, but they might like announce it now just to be like, hey, you know, we got this.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
And they might even announce it later this year too. Because I feel like April would be a little early because like that's the thing, they don't want to announce like too many major games. I'm sure they have a bunch of them, but like if they announce all of them in the April Direct, they'll have nothing for like years from now.
If they make a new Animal Crossing, then they're going to have to make a new Doom and release it on the same day, right?
Yes.
Oh, and the Doom is coming out this year instead, so
I think it's already out. The Dark Ages? I think it's what it's called.
Is it coming out in like May or something? I
I'm
haven't
a
really
fake
followed
Doom
this
fan.
one.
Yeah, me neither.
Dark Ages.
I mean, they could plan that out again, I'm sure.
Or they could have some other kind of like completely screwed up game release alongside it. I don't know. They could have like something foul come out on the same day.
Doom Team Racing releases the same day as Animal Crossing.
That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. I think it's kind of hard to think about like what other than like Mario stuff, because Mario Kart 9 is already confirmed. A 3D Mario game makes the most sense. I mean, like,
just kidding.
A new 3D Mario game is like a surefire bet, pretty much. I mean, like, those always come out at the beginning. I mean, like, so I think Animal Crossing makes sense. Breath of the Wild remaster, whatever.
I think I have another surefire bet.
Hit me with
what do you got?
Scott,
you
you were talking about like Animal Crossing being like really popular and sold a lot of copies, but we haven't really I haven't seen this sequel to one of like the most sold Wii games of all time. I'm of course talking about Wii Sports 2 on the Switch 2.
Holy crap.
That is an amazing idea.
I was not being super serious with it, but Wii Sports 2 on the Switch 2, but like maybe they call it like Switch Sports or something, but
maybe they could call it
I don't know.
Nintendo Switch 2 Sports.
Ooh.
I don't know
Switch
what
2
you call this thing. This thing is a mess.
I-
They really.
I will say this game needs to come out with only like 3 games and then take 2 years to release like golf again, and then take another year to release tennis, because they're not going to have time to finish it. So they need to delay the game modes as long as humanly possible for this game.
I liked Switch Sports, but it just like I liked how it felt.
I loved the bowling. The online bowling was really, really fun, but otherwise
It worked. It's Nintendo knows how to like do good bowling motion control games. Like they're some of the only people that can do that. Nobody else really tops them with that, and I think Switch Sports, Wii Sports 2 will be a great one, because like I don't know what you call. Do you call it Nintendo Switch Sports 2? Do you call it Nintendo Switch 2 Sports? Nintendo Switch 2 Sports sounds gross. Nintendo Switch Sports 2 doesn't make any sense because it doesn't work on the Switch 1.
What about Switch
I think
2
so.
Sports? That could work. So it's like a play on words. Like, are you switching to sports? Are you playing Switch 2 Sports on the Switch 2?
Are we throwing out the Wii Sports 2 idea? We just call it Wii Sports on the Switch, but like everyone knows it's on the Switch.
You could do that. Switch.
I think they call it
Sports
Nintendo
Resort.
Switch Sports for Nintendo Switch Sport. No, oh god. They call it Nintendo Switch Sports for Nintendo Switch 2.
The sequel.
That's the full title. Wii Sports 2. They're like, we did it this time. We followed it up.
Only on the Switch 2. It's not playable on the Switch 1.
What other games? I'm sorry, James. Were you about to say that?
Pretty much, yeah. Like
we
what
can
other...
say it at the same time then.
3, 2,
Okay.
1.
2,
go.
1.
What other games?
Perfectly synced.
Yeah.
I think Kirby's very likely. It's actually been a while since we've gotten a Kirby game, which is kind of surprising because there was a period of time during the Switch era where Kirby games would come out every 5 seconds, but we have not gotten a new one since, I think, Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This is like back in 2022. I don't know if it'll be a 3D. I don't think it'll be like a sequel to Forgotten Land, but definitely like some sort of new 2D Kirby game. Drop it like this summer or like fall or something. Definitely something Kirby. Maybe it'll just be like a remake of like Planet Robobot, because that's been a rumor for a while. So maybe that's all it's going to be, but definitely some sort of Kirby. We're going to see it.
I have a Kirby question. This is for the class. What was that one Kirby game on the Nintendo 64 where you could like combine the powers?
That was Kirby.
You're gonna be shocked at the title here.
Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards.
Okay. Did they ever make any other Kirby games where you can mix the powers?
Technically,
I
yes.
think there was.
There's Squeak
yeah.
Squad, but you could only mix together the sword and the beam weapon or something. You could make like a fire sword, an ice sword. It was like super limited though. It's not really the same thing.
I think it would be great, and this is probably just pure nostalgia speaking, if they bring back that combining power mechanic, because I remember as a kid just like trying to find every combination and every power, you know?
It's cool.
So,
yeah, I still love it.
I think that'd be
yeah.
good for another. I think that'd be cool for another 3D game, like with the
Yeah.
Forgotten Land, because Kirby 64 was like in that weird thing where it's like it's like 2.5D. So it's just like if you look at it from afar, you're like, oh, it's in 3D, and then you see it, and it's still like moving on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool if like in the next 3D game they kind of bring that back, because that's always been kind of like one of the coolest things about like 64. That's always been like oh man, that's awesome. I think Planet Robobot is on the 3DS. Like there's been reports that that's gonna get like a Switch port. That does make me wonder, like, how are they gonna cut things off? Like, what is gonna be considered a Switch 1 game? What is gonna be a Switch 2 game?
Yeah.
How much are they gonna do this cross-gen stuff?
I don't think it's gonna be as bad as like PS4 and PS5. Like, there'll probably be maybe a year, 2 years tops, where they're doing cross-gen releases for games, but I don't think it's going to go on much longer than that, because, like, Nintendo really, really values their IPs, and they know games sell consoles, so, like, I don't think it's going to... It might only be a couple games. Like, you know, like in the past, you've gotten Twilight Princess on GameCube and Wii, and Breath of the Wild had Wii U and Switch.
We have not brought up Smash yet in this conversation. Do you think that Smash is going to get like a remastered, or like you can just play Smash on the Nintendo Switch 2?
I think they're gonna do a reboot of it. I think if you want the full like Smash Ultimate experience, like I think it's just gonna be like, you know, it's backwards compatible. You can play it on Switch 2. But I think for a new Smash game, it's weird. Smash Brothers is in like this weird spot where I think Ultimate kind of satisfied everybody to the point where they're like, you know, if a new Smash game gets announced, everybody's going to be interested, but I don't see a ton of people like frothing at the mouth for it. Sakurai is working on a new game that is confirmed, the director of Smash Brothers, so...
Probably a new Kirby game.
It might.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think it would.
I mean, like,
I would feel bad for him if he's working on Smash Bros. Again.
He goes right back to it.
He spent like a third of his life working on Smash Bros. Like, let the man work on something else.
How does this man like not have completely like a soulless? Like his soul has left his body. Like he's built differently. I feel like that's insane.
The culture there is so different compared to like, I guess where we are. Like we value time off. Japan's like, no, you just work and work and work and work, and that's it.
I think the fact that we hadn't even brought up Smash into our prediction just goes to show that like we're not super in need of a new Smash game. You know, we're just like content with what we have. So like let Sakurai have a break. Let him work on Kirby, or
just
not work at all. I don't know.
Give him. I would like to see maybe like a remake of Kid Icarus Uprising. Or a new Kid Icarus. Uprising is a great game. It hurts to play physically, but it's worth it for the pain because it's really, really fun. So a remake of that where it doesn't destroy your hands.
Mouse
awesome.
mode.
Mouse mode with Uprising?
Big.
That could work.
That's the thing. I think mouse mode, I'm not excited, but I'm definitely intrigued by it because it's like I think that would solve a lot of weird issues, control issues with certain things. You know, I think the mouse will actually be pretty useful in a lot of these situations. You can also play DS games on the TV. You can use the little touchscreen with a mouse. You know, I think that will work
DS,
out pretty
DS,
well.
3DS, technically Wii U games, probably. I don't know why you would.
What other Wii U games are you playing on this thing?
I want to play Nintendo Land. Give me Nintendo Land,
bro.
Zombie U?
Like the only way that's gonna work is like you connect another Switch to your Switch, and then you have like you have that screen,
Hey,
and
you
have
never
the
know.
screen.
You
It
never
could
know.
work. I mean, like that's how it could work, but like at the same time, I'm like, that's so much. You would have to develop so much for something that only a few people would be interested in / like could actually use.
No, there'd be
because you need two Switches.
There would be no reason to actually do that.
Well, speaking of Wii U games, I have another visual to show the class.
Okay.
So this is another prediction. First thing I want to do, I want to show you guys some games, and I want you to tell me, how does these make you feel? How does seeing these games make you feel? They're old Wii games based off of movies.
That brings me back.
Does
And these
bring
are
me
classics. Igor on the Wii.
I just Googled like old Wii games based off of movies, and this is what I got. I think it's about time we start getting these straight from movie to video game releases again. I think we're going to get Shrek 5, the Switch 2 game, and Minecraft the movie, the game.
That would unironically
That would be
sick.
awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. That would actually be sick.
All right, so
Because they don't they
there's
don't
a market.
do this stuff as much anymore.
I mean,
Do they, like,
Yeah, there's a
not
market
America,
open.
Yeah.
There's a market open, and I just really want to see what Jack Black's up to in video games.
Yeah.
It's not Minecraft. It's a video game based off of the movie, the Minecraft movie.
But what's the? We don't even know what the movie's about yet.
I mean, whatever it's about. I mean, I'm assuming Jack Black is gonna be, you know, in Mine. He's Steve, so he's gonna be like, you know, like, ooh, go over here. Like, how would it work? How would it work? Because it needs to be about the movie, not about the game Minecraft. So like,
We
you're
don't
just
know
doing a
what the
bunch of
movie's
mini
about
games.
yet.
I mean, listen, I'll let the video game developers handle that. You know,
They'll figure it out, I'm sure.
they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, unironically, Shrek 2 on GameCube is actually really good. It is a fighting game. It's 4-player co-op, and it's actually kind of fun. That
Well,
one's
that's the
worth
thing.
playing.
There's little like hidden gems of like these video games that are like based off of like other franchises. Like I think the Simpsons Hit and Run, the SpongeBob Saving
Yeah.
Bikini Bottom. There's
Yep.
like a lot of classic video games that are really genuinely good, but then there's just like a mountain of just crappy, just like people like just want to get like a game out as soon as possible, so the grandmas buying them like don't know any better, you know?
Yeah, like that era of like licensed games wasn't like you still had a bunch of stinkers, but
Yeah.
like there was a bar for quality. I think like bare minimum is like like the worst of the worst back during the GameCube days for like movie tie-in games is like kind of like mid to peak for like right now when it comes to like the cheaper kids like movie tie-in games like I don't know.
Well, I was just gonna say I want this era of movie tie-in games to come back, but I'm learning that it's never left. Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
It's not as it's harder to find them, I guess.
I don't know. A lot of times, like when you get like movie tie-ins these days, if it's not like a big budget, like whatever, like an actual like AAA game, like it's pretty bad. Whereas in like back then, you know, B movie game on Wii, you know, could do better. Could do a lot
great
worse
Christmas,
though.
That's a great Christmas present. First of all,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think Switch 2, I mean, like in terms of other games, I think another big one is like Metroid Prime 4. A lot of
Yeah.
people, ever since that game got constantly delayed, everybody has kind of been saying like, oh, it's also coming out for Switch 2. And at this point, I'm kind of like, could
Is
it? Could
it?
not?
Yeah,
It's
who knows?
The problem is like this could be kind of like, you know, like Zelda's always been a popular franchise, but I think Breath of the Wild launching with the Switch and being kind of this reinvention of it kind of got a lot of people to try it out, like give it a good old earnest try. You know, it sold like 30 million copies, you know, like it really kind of brought that franchise into a new level. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 would do the same thing. Right now it looks like a new Metroid Prime game, you know, and that's awesome. But it's like, I don't think it's like this reinvention, this revolutionary title that like Breath of the Wild is. I think it's going to be a great game. Part of me is kind of like, I feel like, you know, there's a chance they might just put it out on Switch 1. And they're like, you can play it on Switch 2 if you'd like.
That
I don't know.
would not surprise me. Like knowing how, I feel like this happens all the time with Metroid or Star Fox. They always put out the games at like the worst time ever, so that they have like the hardest chance of selling well. I think it's sometimes I almost wonder if it's done intentionally because Nintendo is just like kind of worried about them like tanking
I'm
anyway.
sick of this. We're sick of making these games. Like
ah.
we're gonna put it out, but we're gonna put it out and we're gonna make it hard for you to care.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
What's your
this guy.
What's your puppy's name?
This is Floof.
Floof. He is very floofy.
Look at.
I can tell. I can.
I've made one more graphic / prediction for the Switch 2.
Let's see it. What is it?
I like I said, I feel pretty strongly about this one. I think there's a real chance. It's going to be called Sonic Forces Ultimate Edition. But instead of making your own character, you just make your own Sonic.
So it's like in Smash Brothers, you just have like the
Pick a costume.
you just have different colors.
I mean, yeah, but like it'll be more customizable than that. Like maybe he could be red or have like blue arms or something like that. What
can you take off his shoes?
Running bare feet.
That's DLC. That's a like a $10 DLC. The stinky
I
foot.
like it. You know, Sonic Forces deserves another chance at redemption. That game sucks, and I want it to suck a little less. So
They should add
I think that'd be pretty cool.
they just gotta add like 2 more stages. Then it'll be all better. Make it
that
an
was the
extra
main thing
2
missing
minutes
from
long.
it.
Yeah.
I've actually never played
Wait, James. So you're just flat
that,
out
Scott?
removing the creator character, and it's
Yeah.
just okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if this is going to be like a sequel or just like a remaster.
I like it being a remaster.
Okay.
I
They
think
just
that
flat
makes
out
sense.
remove a feature, and they're like, "This is better." make him blue.
I actually did not play this game, but I know a lot of people had strong feelings towards it, so I just wanted to give it another chance on the Switch.
I think you could probably play it. It's like an hour long.
It's like literally 3
It's-
hours.
I mean,
3
like
hours.
I've had
I
people,
mean, you could play it for 30 minutes and you get the gist.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
that's
There's
true.
nothing else you get
Yeah.
from it for beating it. Like you're like, all right, I get this.
like
Yeah.
And also, I don't think you gain anything for playing it for 30 minutes. So I think you're good actually.
you know,
about
that's good praise, I guess. It functions.
It's just boring.
It's
What about-
very
what about-
boring.
problem?
There's just
What
nothing
about-
to it.
Yeah.
Is it the most like in-depth Sonic OC builder though? Like online, are there better Sonic OC builders?
No, yeah, there's definitely better stuff online. I'm gonna be honest here.
Uh-oh.
I don't remember. It's one of those creator characters where it's just like, I haven't personally dreamt of my own character in the Sonic franchise, but like if I feel like if I did, I couldn't really make it. Like it's just you got like what 8 types of animals.
Well, you could
Maybe-
add like a bunch of shirts. You could add a hat that says gamer on it. There's like
What other Sonic characters really have shirts?
No, wait, hold on. There's a Sonic shirt in that game, I think.
Oh,
Yes,
it
really?
is.
There is a
that's,
Sonic
that's
shirt.
that's so freaking cool.
It is. It is. It's very hip.
What I'm hearing is that we all need to make our own Sonic OCs and then try and recreate them in Sonic Forces.
Yeah,
It's
I
not a
think
bad idea.
I mean, I feel like to create your own Sonic OC, you just do that like little like I feel like it's like a zodiac sign thing, right? It's like it's like you pick an animal based on the month you were born, and then like like the second word of its name is like the day you were born, and then the year is like the whatever its full name or something. I don't know. Yeah.
We'll create some system for it.
I think that here's the problem with the Switch 2, man, because like it's all
not
up
even
in
out
the-
yet.
Problem.
It's not even,
That's
and there's
the
already a
thing.
The
problem.
system sucks already.
And I already got a problem with it. The problem is I don't know what else to say. I think the problem is with it being like on PS4 type levels of stuff, it's kind of hard to predict what's going to be available for it because I think most things are kind of possible on it.
I would,
Like when it comes to like all these third-party games, there are rumors that like Red Dead 2 would come out for it, and I think that's fair. I don't think they do GTA 5 or GTA 6 right now because
the
GTA
Switch?
5, yeah. Well, I mean, with Switch 2, I think GTA 5 could definitely run.
I mean, it could run on the first Switch. I think the only reason they didn't do it.
It could,
is
but, like,
Can?
Yeah. I mean,
Hold
probably. It probably.
I mean, it's
could.
a
It runs on
360 game.
360. Yeah.
But I think also the problem is like the hard drive and stuff, and like the amount of storage probably needed for
Yeah.
it is probably a little too much.
Yeah,
for,
exactly.
Like, most base Switches.
That's why they didn't do it, because their physical Switch carts didn't have enough data for them to put GTA 5 on there.
But I feel like they would wait to put GTA 5 out on this because, like, why would they put out GTA 5 in 2025 when GTA 6 is coming out this year?
Is it?
I think it should, right?
I think it'll get delayed. Like, at least
I was
one
gonna
more
say,
year.
do you really think it's coming out this year?
I don't care. I'll care when it comes out. I'm not in any rush. I've already waited 13 years for this game, so I'm like, I don't care. But
It's one more year.
well, I think Red Dead 2 would make sense.
Probably see
like,
Elden
coming out,
Ring.
like-
Elden Ring will probably be a
Yeah.
launch title, honestly. That'd be a big
good.
one.
Make a lot of sense. I think Street Fighter 6. I think Resident Evil games.
Yeah,
I think
the
Monster
remakes.
Hunter. all
I have
this
a hunch.
stuff.
I have a hunch. Have you guys heard of Okami? Okami 2. That one might be out. That one. I think
Yeah.
that could make a
work.
a good Switch 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think all they said is that game is in development, so I think we're probably gonna see it in like 5 years.
Yeah.
But It's Switch 2 for sure. I mean, like, even though that game launched on PS2, but like that game is a Wii game at its heart. Like that game is, you know, with the brush and everything.
Right. That's such a.
Oh, and with like, mouse mode.
Finally draw.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I have.
Makes sense.
This might be a crazy idea, but I could also see it happening because you know Xbox is now like everything is an Xbox. Well, why can't they just make the Switch an Xbox? They're gonna have a Game Pass app, and you can just download Xbox games on the Switch.
Out of all the ideas that I brought to the table, I think that's the craziest idea.
I'm calling it. It sounds
You think
insane
they're gonna
right
have-
now, but I think it might happen.
I feel like we're gonna get Nintendo DS Lite games before we get. You know what?
DS Lite.
I can't. It's your dream. This is what you want. Who am I to say that's not possible?
I'll be honest. I don't want it. I don't really care about those games. I just think it might happen. Like that's the
Okay.
wild card. Phil Spencer
think
walks
it's gonna-
out on the Switch 2 stage next to Miyamoto. He's like, all right, everything is an Xbox, while he's holding the Switch 2 in his hand.
Was he invited? Or
No, he
did
just walked
do
in.
that?
He
Yeah.
just walked in. Yeah.
That just seems like something. He just jumps in and he whatever claims ownership of this whole event. He's just like, oh, there's an Xbox too. Like, this is technically our new console too.
Yeah.
I think I think Microsoft is definitely going to be putting a lot of stuff out on Switch too. I mean, like we're already seeing like they are. There's been reports that a Gears of War collection was coming to PS5. I think they're probably going to try to put out as much stuff as they can. So I don't think anything. I don't think anything's really off the table. We might get Starfield. Oh boy.
Oh wow! Can't wait to play that. At least we have mouse mode. And play it properly.
That's always.
Wait, yeah, could they like port RTSs like StarCraft with mouse mode?
They could. League of Legends.
I think that brings up. I mean, they could.
It's just like opens.
That's the
it just
thing, that's-
opens the door.
That's the answer to like literally everything. I mean, like they could do
They
it.
could.
The Sims. The Sims is gonna be there.
The Sims would be sick. Yeah.
That's gotta happen. Because like so much throughout the whole Switch generation, it's just like why haven't they put the Sims on this thing? They put My Sims on it last year, but that's it. You know, so I think the Sims putting out the Sims 4 makes a lot of sense.
What if Nintendo makes their own version of Sims, but it's with all the Miis, and you just like build a house and like have your Miis like have a job and that relationship?
Have you ever heard of Tomodachi Life?
That's pretty much what it is.
No.
It's a
Tomodachi Life is the best game Nintendo's ever made, and
Oh, look at that. It's like pretty
and
much everything I just said.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a little more like you just watch them do things and they just say weird stuff at you. But I guess The Sims you have a lot more control in, but Tomodachi Life is a little more like The Sims than like an Animal Crossing or something.
see,
So
yeah.
Tomodachi Life 2, I would freak out.
or even just
I
like
love
a
that
port of it.
stupid game.
A port would be cool
Yeah.
too. Either or. I'm kind of surprised we never got that on the first Switch. Like I remember every time I would like stream a direct, the chat was always like, "Where's Tomodachi Life?" It just never happened. All 7 years.
It sold really well.
Yeah.
I think it would do really well.
It's
but
time.
It is time.
And then they can play sports, and then it's like Wii Sports and Tomodachi.
You can do like
sports
5
expansion.
games in one, man.
You know?
There should be like a little music mode where it's just it's Donkey Konga too. So it's just like Wii Sports and Tomodachi Life and Donkey Konga and Slide Adventure Mad Kid. That was another thing. I brought this up to you guys. This is a game. This is my wild card guess because Slide Adventure Mad Kid was an obscure DS game Nintendo published on the DS, only in Japan, where you insert a thing into the DS Lite.
Okay.
It's a DS Lite game.
Light.
Only a DS Lite game?
It goes into the Game Boy Advance slot, and then the bottom of your DS is like the bottom of a mouse. So then you're sliding your DS around on a desk, and
Oh,
like
wow.
I don't know, they designed a game around that. So Slide Adventure Mad Kid 2 on the Switch 2 with mouse mode. It's not going to be nearly as novel. Because
But
who
it could
cares?
happen.
No, it could.
It'll still
Yeah,
be
I mean,
kinda cool.
that was another mouse game Nintendo made. They've made other mouse games. There's all this crap they can bring back.
You know,
Doesn't seem like you really want it back, though.
It would be neat. The little Nintendo brain rot boy I am. I'd be like, if they'd show like Mario Paint in a Nintendo Direct, I'd be like, ooh, like that's cool. But like, am I really gonna like get much out of that? Probably not. Like, I'm like, that's kind of neat. Oh, but you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have not brought up
More mouse mode.
Mario Maker at all. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but like, Mario Maker
I was thinking,
with mouse
like,
mode.
what would they add? Mouse mode. I mean, that would help building the levels for sure.
Yeah.
But like they have slopes. They have maybe like more
Loops.
customizable bosses.
They do Sonic loops.
Flutes?
No, Sonic loops.
Oh, the loops.
Yeah.
Stupid. Mario can roll up into a ball.
They gotta bring back the costumes from Mario Maker 1.
Yeah.
Yes, bring back the
Would it-
costumes, or just make it a 3D builder. Which
I was going to ask.
3D
would
would be a
would
big
that be
movie.
crazy
Yeah.
if they made it like a Mario Maker 3D? It's
Oh my
already
God.
in the name.
Perfect. That's perfect. I think if they do a Mario Maker 3, I'd be down for like a Mario Maker 2, but just with like all the little quirks ironed out. You know, I could imagine some insane stuff, but at that point, like it would just be like a game maker instead of like a
Well,
Mario
maybe-
course
yeah,
designer.
Dreams
you know?
for Switch. Yeah, it's pretty much just Dreams.
Yeah.
How do you make it like accessible and like easy to like understand, but then also how do you make it engaging, like without making
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
you have like these pre-made sections and blocks or whatever?
Yeah, that's the thing with Mario Maker is like it's fun to build the levels too. Like building the levels itself is almost like a game of itself, where it's like most other level creators, it's not really like that. So I just feel like with going 3D, like that would be really really neat, but I'm not really sure how they do that in like the best way possible. So
I think I don't see it happening. It's just too complicated, but I'd really want
Luigi's Mansion 4.
it. Probably not this year, but it will happen.
I mean, they did Luigi's Mansion 2 last year, and they did Luigi's Mansion 1 remake on the 3DS, and then a year later they did Luigi's Mansion 3. So.
I'd
Maybe.
throw you a bone.
maybe
It could.
I could see like a remake of the first game on the Switch, like on both Switches, 1 and 2, and then 4 after that. So then you finally have the full library.
Yeah, and
maybe.
Luigi's Mansion 1 is the best one,
It is.
potentially. I think Luigi's Mansion 3 might be the best like actual like game, but Luigi's Mansion 1 got the best flavor. It's got the best vibes.
It's the most fun to play, and the ghost designs are way better, and basically everything's better.
What do you think would be like the best game that they can announce or release that would like sell the most copies of Switch 2?
That's tricky. I think they've already announced it. I think it's Mario Kart 9
Mario Kart,
Deluxe.
Yeah.
I think so.
But it's, you know, I think that's smart of them, you know, like I think that was really nice to see in the Switch 2 trailer, of just seeing that, like, all right, okay, they're actually developing it. I don't know. It's kind of hard because, like, how much are we gonna see, like, a bunch of, like, I feel like they're saving some heavy hitters for this. I feel like we're gonna see a bunch of their heavy hitters instead of like a bunch of like random small things.
Yeah.
But who knows? Snipper Clips 2.
3, 4,
Remember
Switch,
Snipper Clips?
maybe.
Yeah.
Was that the one where you like whatever you type it like comes to life?
Oh,
Nah,
that's
Scribblenauts.
That's Scribblenauts.
Yeah,
Damn.
Snipper
Yeah.
Clips.
Dang it.
Snipper Clips was like a launch eShop game on the Switch day one, where you play as these two little paper dudes, and it's like a co-op
Oh
game.
yeah, that
Yeah.
puzzle game that was like.
Yeah.
I did play that. It was really hard.
Listen, I think that game is cute as heck. I thought that game was very, very smart and all of that. I haven't thought about it much. It's not like the most memorable game, but like I think that game was really cool. So I think if they do stuff like that, I would really like to see that. But
Probably no Splatoon for a while. Be a few years. Hey, maybe like
No, I
1
think
or
they-
2 years.
they should do Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
Those-
they're not gonna
those
announce it
fans-
on April.
Those Animal Crossing fans, man, they're scary. they are like frothing at the mouth. They are like, I spent 400 hours in this game. It sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they need to be fed.
What about you, James?
Great.
What's going to be the best-selling Switch 2 game?
I mean, I think I agree with Scott. Oh, my camera just died.
Oh,
Hold
crap.
on.
Okay, I think we were probably about to wrap up anyway.
The most sold, the best game that they can announce on the Switch 2 that will sell the most copies is Tetris 999. I think having a 1,000 person battle royale, I'd buy it.
I'd buy it.
And everybody, and all the people that didn't download Tetris 99 are like, oh, finally, they fixed the big issue.
Not
more
enough
people.
players.
I think Slide Adventure Mad Kid 3 is going to sell the best. 2 is going to come out soon. and it's not going to do that well, but they're going to fix it with 3 in a couple years. So I think that's going to sell the best.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, do we have like a point? I don't know what like everyone's official predictions are, but we have like a point system, and then whatever like actually comes out, we all get a point, and then whoever at the end of the year, like, we'll see who wins.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll keep someone will keep tally.
Yeah. I'll just throw out the dumbest prediction I can, even though I kind of just did. And if I get this right, then I think you predict the stupidest thing you can, and if it becomes right, that's like a 50-point bonus.
For sure.
You know. So I will say, Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition.
They do it again.
Okay.
They do it again.
They do it again.
Even worse. It's actually a coordinated release with Sonic Forces Ultimate Edition. And
dual combo pack.
A feature and replace it with making your own Sonic.
Yeah.
As well, it's all coordinated.
Well,
Great.
I'm gonna end by just saying Clubhouse Games 2. That's it.
Yo! I'd love that.
Dude,
You think they're
game.
gonna do another? You think they're gonna do a new card game?
No.
They're gonna include
doubt it.
53 games.
They just had like one game. That's it.
They're gonna do something new, and they're gonna, like, we had to wait for Switch 2 for this. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then I think my Hail Mary wild card guess was just it's not maybe not specifically Tetris 999, but like a revamped Tetris 99, maybe with more party modes. I don't know.
And the
Party modes would be so cool. Have you ever played the Tetris party games?
on
There's
like
this
the
one on
Wii and the
Switch.
DS. Yes.
There's one on Steam that I played. I forgot what it was called.
I'm trying to think.
There was
What
like
Tetris
a
games would be on Steam? Was it Tetris Ultimate?
no, that was 3DS.
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking of Tetris Effect. I know that's on Steam.
Oh,
Oh.
Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
No, because the one I had, there was like different pieces and like power-ups that you could do. I don't know. Maybe it's probably some random Steam game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to be like, which Tetris game is this? It's
Yeah.
just like, it's Tetris.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know what version of Tetris James is talking about. I checked Steam. There's apparently 435 Tetris games. Well, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, that's it for our predictions. That's pretty much where we ended. So I'll see you all very soon, and thanks for watching.